Greetings and salutations, viewer. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by The Boy.
Hey.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast. And I used to segue into, and today we're talking about blah, but first, what's crumpin'? But it's different now.
My man's a little sleep deprived. You may be able to tell. Let's talk about what's crumpin', friend.
Let's talk about what's crumping, friend. What's crumping with you, my friend?
Well, I have been rewatching an anime from my childhood that I love.
We ain't talking about that shit yet. What the fuck else is crumping with you?
Okay. Mean, but alright. I've been playing a video game with my friend that I really like. I was waiting for you
What have you and Ben been playing?
Good joke. You missed the opportunity to do the same bit again.
No, that's fine. It's just, we're not talking about the longer segment until the end, because otherwise, if we open with that, we will talk about nothing else that is crumped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see the logic there?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's how the beans are made, how the sausage is stuffed. What game have you been playing with Ben?
No, it's a YouTube series, it's Elden Ring.
Oh, I don't play that game. You play that game.
I've been playing it with you.
I watch you play the... Well, you know what? All right. Technically, you're correct, and I know that brings you great joy. So that's all. That's 100%. Haven't crumped a single other thing all week.
What have you been up to?
I watched season 5 of Barney Miller.
Okay.
And, I got Switch 2. I got Tomodachi Life. Been playing that. It's not a Switch 2 game. I think I said that last podcast, but I have now been playing it all week. So, it's silly fun. I've been making a bunch of old TTRPG characters. And
awesome.
Now we can move on to the only thing you wanted to talk about.
I just haven't been doing much, friend.
No,
I'm not sure why you're upset.
Yeah, I'm upset because I've had 3.5 hours of sleep, and then I put in an 8-hour workday, and it was at this exact chair, and now my ass hurts, and I'm confused. Welcome to 40. No, let all of my silly ruminations aside. You guys have seen the title card. You know most of what we're talking about today. We were commissioned. Well, I was commissioned. You're not. This is beyond your scope. To watch YuYu Hakusho, which you have actually seen the first 2 seasons of already.
Yeah, seasons is, as I understand it, a kind of rough way to describe it, because in the original run there isn't really a thing like seasons.
Right. However, I am watching this on a streaming service that does divide it into seasons, and I'm not a fucking pedantic weeb. We discussed this about JoJo's. Maybe we didn't on the podcast, but it's technically in arcs, and it's very important that you have the terminology right if you want to impress all your weeb friends. I don't. It's seasons. It's seasons on the app. You want to know how you can get me to call it arcs? Call it arcs on the app. Crunchyroll, you're the anime app. You're the anime streaming service. This is on you. This is not my fault.
Okay.
All right. I'm feeling very attacked here by Crunchyroll and the weebs. So, yes, YuYu Hakusho was the show I was YuYu commissioned to watch. And you decided to join me a little bit on this venture. You haven't watched the entire first season. You're kind of taking a walk down memory lane.
Yeah, because I've seen the show a bunch,
right.
So I didn't need to rewatch it.
No.
But I am enjoying rewatching it with the input of my friend and, seeing it fresh through his eyes. So that's been fun. But I'm not fussed to keep up with where he is, because I already know.
Sure. That and this literally is not your job at all. This part is beyond your buy-in on this, because you have other commitments, like playing games with Ben and watching YuYu Hakusho. So, how do you want to tackle this, my guy? This is up until the end of the introduction of the Taguro brothers. Taguro brothers.
Yes.
I'm so terrible at names. I apologize. How do you want to approach this behemoth?
Well, let's start overall. Right on Front Street, I believe I've mentioned it several times on the podcast throughout the years. I really like YuYu Hakusho. I think it is one of the better shonen animes of its day, probably maybe the best of its day. And it's fun, and I have a lot of attachment to the characters because I watched them when I was a child, into teenagerdom, and I've seen up to the end of the Dark Tournament arc. Not the Demon Tournament arc, which I guess is a different thing that happens later.
You gotta love tournaments.
Yep.
You know? And arcs. And seasons.
They do a lot of them in Yu Yu Hakusho. So that's where they basically stopped showing it back on Toonami when I was watching it. So I've seen that and like 2 episodes after the end of it, and then it basically just restarted. So I haven't seen anything past that. But everything I've seen, I like. I'm more interested in a more granular look at how you felt about the show. So first off, what was your overall, what you've watched so far up through the end of, God, I think it's like when they're assaulting that castle full of, it's like the Frost Princess, right?
Yeah, she's a Yukiona or something.
Yeah.
I know that noun because the Gialopunk RPG, which you can buy, or you can get a preview of it through the Patreon. I'm very sleep deprived. I was initially incredibly impressed with this show. I want to say for the first 5-ish episodes.
Pretty much until Yusuke gets his body back, I think, is when you really, like, I heard nothing but extreme praise when you were talking about the show.
I think it goes a little bit past that, but we're talking like 1 or 2 episodes. After that, it's no longer mind-blowingly good. It's just regular, really good. You've gone from an S to an A+. How dare you?
The first few episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho are truly an absolute vibe.
They're a masterclass in how to set up a group of characters to at least get my buy-in on their future adventures. We don't waste a lot of time, but we also don't refuse to spend time, which is something sometimes an anime will end up doing. Cough, Golden Wind, cough. I feel like I got to know the tropes of everybody. I feel like everybody had depth and nuance. Even for pretty simple characters, the relationships were established well. Even the little pervy moments felt honest and not like tacked on for titillation or shock value. You know what I mean?
I mean, perhaps a bit as like a shock joke, but like,
it's, Japanese culture is different.
It feels less purient than later pervert anime characters.
I'm not going to pretend like I know what that word means.
Okay.
We're just going to move on. I don't want to Google it.
All right.
I'm going to assume based on context clues. I have so many good things to say about this show. It's honestly hard to organize them. They climb over one another in my head to try to reach some kind of apex and get shouted out first. Yusuke's a really compelling main character. He's got flaws, but they're like understandable flaws. Some of them he works through within the first season. He's got a good sense of humor, but not all his jokes land, and there's sort of like reactions from the rest of the group about that. He's not overcome by a strong sense of justice and like right and wrong, but there's like a backbone of it. I very much like the, these are middle schoolers, technically speaking, as cast by 90210.
They're like 14-year-olds, yeah.
Yeah, none of them look like middle schoolers.
No, they're like, those are adult human men.
Yeah.
Is what they're drawing
Kuwabara takes his shirt off and looks like a pro wrestler. Or like Bruce Lee or some shit. But, they're of that age, and they're all acting really hard about being street toughs and, like, presenting this facade of danger. And, they all each have, like... Not all of them. This is really just Yusuke and Kurobara, obviously. You guys have seen the anime. But they've got their own hearts, It's not just about... It kind of reminds me of Vampire the Masquerade. At least in the 90s version. I don't know if this is still the case. You had to choose... and I forget the names off the top of my sleepy head. Please forgive me. But you had to choose, like, the persona you reflect outward. Mm-hmm. The mask, if you will. And then you had to choose, like, actually who you are. And I feel like Yusuke and Kurobara both have that aspect. And I think they continue to play with it. It's not just like an establishing thing that they never touch again. It keeps coming up.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they both have a persona that they put on, a public face they put on to maintain their rep, as it were. Mm-hmm. But there is that more earnest, more heartfelt internal core. In Kuwabara, it's much closer to the surface. In Yusuke, it's much more internal, but we get a lot more of Yusuke's internal monologues. So we hear it also.
Agreed. I agree with that. Visually, it is an absolute treat. It's that late 80s, early 90s anime style. The beautiful use of color in those pastel palettes. The action scenes are really solid. The framing is really good. You didn't have to make it this good. Dragon Ball was there. Dragon Ball is not as dedicated to looking this stunning. It's not a bad looking anime, don't get me wrong. I might not be a fan of it, but it does its job.
I think that the differences are in art style, and Yu Yu Hakusho is an art style you're much more fond of.
And maybe it's just been that long since I've tried to watch Dragon Ball, but composition on things, where characters are placed on screen to set a scene, they play with a lot. And just really do some interesting visual design stuff. It's cool also. I feel weird saying that at 40, but it's been a while since I've watched something that wasn't bold, directly up my alley, that I actually really enjoyed like this. I liked the Marvel show or the Fallout show. Who could have fucking guessed? But this is outside my usual wheelhouse. I'm not a shonen anime fan in general.
You don't generally like things that even could be remotely described as coming-of-age stories or stories about children.
No, I don't tend to. I'm a little burnt out on coming-of-age stories. I'm fairly burnt out on coming-of-age stories, excuse me. Obviously, I think it helps that these characters don't act that much like children. Enough to distinguish that they're not adults, but for the most part, if this weren't... And this, I don't want to get too deep into the Japanese youth culture situation, but it obviously is part of this. This is a bunch of, people who probably would make more sense in their 20s going to college.
Yeah, they give an energy that more equals college students in American culture, is the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah. They have a maturity that a lot of actually younger people and characters lack. I can compare it to something that it's been making me want to watch, given that it's a similar era and palette. It's really made me want to go back and watch Sailor Moon and actually watch the whole thing instead of just bits and pieces cleverly translated. Usagi feels like a teenager. Yusuke does not feel like a teenager.
He has moments where he is being an immature teenager, but overall he feels like a young adult.
Yeah, absolutely. You see, I've lost myself in the pile of thoughts of why this anime is real good.
And sleep deprivation. My mind is... literally, I gotta tell you guys, I was fine. Normal. Sat down,
and then we sat down and I talked more than 2 sentences and my brain went, that's all we had.
we're done.
I'm tapped out. I think I'm being coherent. It's just that organizing my thoughts isn't going very well.
I will help. So you've talked a great deal about how the first few episodes really shone, and then
Yes.
it got very slightly less good, but only in the realm of going from like top tier anime all time to just really good anime.
It's gone from this is the greatest food I've ever tasted to I could eat this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and I'm so happy. This is a personal thing. I do not often recommend my friend things that go over this well, and I've recommended him Yu Yu Hakusho for many years, and it finally happened, and I was right, and I'm pretty proud of that.
All it took was some guy to give me money about it. I've actually, this is a joke, but I've actually been trying to take in more of the things you recommended me as I've had the opportunity and brain space to do so, and really just the stars aligned here. Before I was officially commissioned for it, I was thinking about trying to find a way to watch it, and I thought it was on a streaming service we already had.
But
But being paid, means I can afford to just get a couple months of Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll had like a sale for anime. That's the name of their May discount festival.
fun.
I'm not just being a weird American about it. And yeah, the stars just really aligned, and I had time and space, and this has been a sensational experience thus far.
What would you say, now that it has transitioned to more of, I'm gonna be honest, what you are seeing now is much more in the vein of what the show is going to be going forward than those first few episodes.
Right.
The spirit detective, the drama that is high stakes but sort of low intensity around Yusuke's body and all that, the stuff that starts the anime, and then the little spirit detective case he starts out on. That is really cool, but it does not come back.
No, that's fine. And it wasn't about the plot necessarily. I think that was a cool way to do the intro, but that wasn't what was carrying the show for me. It was the strength of the characters and the attention paid to establishing those characters.
That, I would say, carries forward just fine.
I think it really does, because we've been... Hiei is a great example of this. It's a very stereotypical, tropey. Perhaps because of Hiei, I am watching an anime
Yes.
from 1990.
That is correct. Thank you for getting there before I had to explain.
Yeah. It's not... But if you also are watching this in 2026... You're not going to be surprised by anything that's happening with this character so far, but it's a really good execution on that concept of somebody who initially doesn't trust the party, and the party also doesn't trust, but he slowly begins to respect them over the course of their adventures, and they play the beats well. Even the fight he had against the one of the four kings, I forget what they actually call him in the show.
That's okay.
It's... the dragon one.
Right.
It's not a long fight. It's not a JoJo's 4D chess fight. It's just regular chess.
There's not a lot of those in Yu Yu Hakusho.
I like that. It's neat in JoJo's, but like because of the rules of escalation, the longer the series goes on, as far as I viewed it, the more complicated all that shit gets. Here, it was like, I'm 2 steps ahead of you, not 6. And I liked those 2 steps. They felt clever. They felt earned.
Who would you say is your favorite character so far?
I do have to apologize. I think I mispronounced this slightly. I don't remember if it's Botan or Botan. Her and Kuwabara are probably my favorites.
I believe it's Botan, but that's even I not entirely sure.
You would think, because I sit there listening to it in English, that I would remember, but it's the second I turn off the show, I'm like, now how is that pronounced again? Sometimes during the show, I lose all track.
That's absolutely those are correct opinions. Just speaking on behalf of myself and the Anime Council. Those are the correct opinions to have.
I think I would love Kuwabara more if I hadn't seen Kuwabara derivatives that really impressed me before I saw him.
Kuwabara walked so that they could run.
Yes, absolutely. Whereas Botan is like, I don't know, she's got a lot going on. She's stylish, she's capable, she's funny, she's charming.
She's a little impish.
I like that. There's, it's just a really well done version of the Spirit Guide. And, I mean, gosh, we've seen that since ancient times. literal ones, not just 1985.
She's probably one of the better psychopomps in fiction.
Yeah, she's really fun. There's two things I have to say, because I keep getting interrupted by great content. One is I need to reiterate, I like Yusuke. I almost never like the main character of a show.
No, you're usually eating around them.
Yes.
Like the piece of food on your plate you don't want to eat, but you know you have to finish.
And there's a number of reasons for that I'm not going to bother going into, but ordinarily, like author avatars or audience avatars have a lot of that stuff in a main character, and Yusuke doesn't really have that. He is the onboard for the rules of the spirit world. He's our vector in that sense.
He's the point of view character, but he's not an audience insert.
No, he's not an empty shell.
He has his own shit going on.
The other thing I need to say is, so far, there's not a character on the show I don't like.
Very, extremely rare pull.
Extraordinarily, especially because one of the characters is Boss Baby, and I love him.
He's the best. Koenma is the best Boss Baby.
He's so fun, he's so cool, he's got a good voice, he's really funny. I love the ogre he hangs out with.
The ogre whose job it is to watch TV with him.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but I love it. I love that he's constantly worried about getting in trouble with his dad while presenting this veneer of, I'm in charge professionalism. It's just really good. I don't know.
It's a good show, and it's nice. It's really nice to agree.
Yeah, this is, you guys, if you come here for, me going, I really love this thing, and the boy saying, it is actually verified by the entire internet ass, or the boy going, this is actually verified by the entire internet good, and I go, meh.
You're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, that's not the deal here today.
This is just a full-on love-in for Yu Yu Hakusho, as it so rightly deserves.
So you were also saying about how this is how the show goes on from here. I love that, in spite of it all, this is a fantasy show.
Yeah, very much so. It does not. It's almost wholly uninterested in the normal world.
No, and I love that so far we've had like dungeons. It's been so long since I've seen a show you like have those kind of puzzle rooms and traps, and it feels like a TTRPG session, like an old school one especially, and that level of inspiration, it's not even, I don't know, something, I like that it's obvious, It's not like abstracted and you're like, using my engagement brain, I can tell that was actually technically a trap they went through. No, there's a trap, there's a guy, he's like, there's a fucking trap, you stepped on the bad plate, now bad things happen to you. And I go, that's good. That's fucking popcorn, that is. That's great.
This is, it's almost the reverse of Seinfeld is unfunny. This is, you have been eating at nothing but gastropubs and molecular gastronomy warehouses, and someone finally took you to like a TGI Fridays.
Cheese fries are delicious. News at 11. It's sensational. I'm really looking forward to getting into the next season / series of arcs / whatever. I don't, and it's the thing that it's doing more than anything is making me want to watch other anime. As much as I enjoyed Diamond is Unbreakable, I enjoyed Diamond is Unbreakable.
Whereas Yu Yu Hakusho is actually making you enjoy anime.
Yeah, it's really making me want to go back and try to watch all of Sailor Moon. But I'm also looking around at other anime from the era and going, well, what about that? Is that any good? What else is on the Crunchyroll? Oh my god, I can't believe it. Today I was turned into a monkey. Is that allowed? Is the name of an anime, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'd watch that.
I wouldn't recommend that.
But I think that's enough talk for now until I get to the next season. As fun as this is, as much as I could go on about minutia and little details and the music, good god, the music is amazing. We need to talk about all those links in the description. There's a link tree that'll take you places. You can go to our Discord. You can chat with us. You can tell us your opinion on Yu Yu Hakusho. We talk a lot about wrestling as well. You can buy my books. One of them is fantasy. That's like Yu Yu Hakusho. except that it is basically in every way not. There's also the COLT REGAN series, which is an urban fantasy, which means there's werewolves and shit. If you subscribe to the Patreon, there are various tiers. Just $1 is where things start. That'll get you episodes of our gameplay series a week early and access to any limited series I've got going on, like what I'm doing with Half-Life right now. Every time we record something, it's a struggle not to call it Halo.
What an amazing troll that would be.
Yeah. But you can also get access to TTRPG content, which I kind of alluded to before. Sort of. You get episodes of Violent Profiles a month early at the $5 tier. There's all kinds of other stuff on there to entertain yourself with. You can request podcast topics, like has been done to get me to watch YuYu Hakusho. What if you happen to pick one of the boys' favorite childhood things and get to delight him again? What if on the show, what if you pick something I've already recently experienced, like the abortion series, and then I'm just like, oh sweet, I don't actually have to put any effort into this, thank you for your money. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's the YouTube shit. I don't just say that because it's a trend. That's what makes our video go out to more people.
We are deprioritized in the algorithm because this channel is not monetized, which means all the algorithmic boost we get is from you folks. It is likes, it is comments, it is subscriptions, it is you sharing links. I know that can come across as cringe in the Year of Our Lord Cthulhu 20,026.
Boy, that's an old meme.
Yep, I'm pulling it out. But please do so. It's not a joke. It's genuine. If you think our stuff is worth sending out to other people, feel free.
Well, and y'all don't have to, like, you know, timestamp something funny the boy said and post it in the Discord, your Discord, with your friends. The friend Discord. That's how we share stuff. That's how I got turned on to Civvy 11, and he does great content. We do great content. Come on, well, you could be cooler about this. Would you like to hear some random nerd news I collected from the internet?
I would love to.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just, you did all that hitting me between the last segment and this one.
They can't prove a thing.
And I suppose that's true. Well, let me heal my bruises and announce Garfield Escape from Monday is a Garfield video game. Those are of dubious quality, but I'm glad they're making like a little 3D platformer with Garfield. I think the last time Garfield had a proper platformer was the Genesis one, where he went into different TV dimensions. That one wasn't bad.
I remember playing a Garfield game of some type on my PC when I was a small child. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember that Garfield was there.
I would love to deep dive into this with you, but we don't just Google things on the podcast. That's generally frowned upon.
No.
They're making a new film adaptation of Herbert West Reanimator, the H.P. Lovecraft story. I actually saw Reanimator for the first time, I think 10 years ago. What a cool movie. I can't really speak to the novel. The exciting thing is that Malcolm McDowell might be starring as Herbert West. They could do some cool stuff with that. It's supposed to be in production in June.
Yeah. Reanimator, I believe I watched it at the same time you did.
No, you weren't there.
I might be thinking of a different movie then. Was that the movie with the guy with the syringe full of blue liquid?
No, it's green, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's blue. I don't
know what I'm thinking about then.
You might have seen it.
Nonetheless, this sounds interesting.
I think the people really want to know whether or not you and I watched this movie at the same time. I think we need to get to the bottom of this.
We didn't. There. It's at the bottom.
I was right the whole time.
Yep.
Peter Jackson is in talks to adapt the Silmarillion. The owners of Tolkien's estate's licensing have changed slightly. I don't have the context as to how, but they might be more open to doing some of his side stuff that hasn't already been licensed out. I'm provisionally interested in this.
So it basically for me, it's: are we going to be getting Lord of the Rings? Are we going to be getting The Hobbit? Or are we going to be getting Rings of Power? There are 3 different tiers of content this could be, and I'm only interested in the first one, really, maybe the second.
There was some good stuff in the Hobbit trilogy, but there was a lot of stuff that also was not very good.
Yeah, basically. And then there's Rings of Power, which is just bad, as I understand it.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, but the person I heard good things about it from is a bit of a pleb.
That's fair enough.
You know what's all good? Pizza.
Well, yeah, in this context, I think you're right.
I think you'd have a hard time. There's a theory about pizza and also sex. But here, in this world, there are about slightly less than 100 locations of Pizza Huts are being refitted to the classic style. The red cups, the Tiffany-style lamps, the old roof.
The big jars of giant red pepper flake thingies.
Yeah. These are all Pizza Huts owned by a specific person whose name I did not write down in my screenshot. You can Google it to find out more. But that's exciting. I hope one of those comes to our locale. I think our Pizza Hut still has the old roof.
Our Pizza Hut still has a lot of the old style.
It does. But, like, for those of you who've been missing out on that and have been dealing with modern brutalist Pizza Hut, this is so good for you. I want this for you.
Yeah, people like it more when their stuff looks neat. A brutalist gray box is not great.
We're moving past that. So part of this is because millennials are becoming the nostalgia generation. Or we have been for a while, but like we're hitting sort of an apex. And
I find that fascinating when the thing that this was being turned into was famously called millennial gray.
Well, hey, I'm not arguing with that. But also, as this article I read mentioned, a lot of younger people are getting into lo-fi stuff. And this seems like the perfect time to do stuff like this.
Yeah, it's a wave. And I'm happy to be writing it.
You know, this isn't a news story I have written down, but I think they started reintroducing toys into certain cereal boxes as well.
Good.
So just stuff like that is, let's bring fun back, guys.
It's not illegal, actually, to just enjoy life a little.
Speaking of enjoying life and fun, Cosmic Invasion is getting its first DLC pack, Cyclops and the Thing. That is exciting. The characters both seem very lovingly rendered. What's more exciting is they're getting another DLC pack in autumn, and that is coming with a new game mode. I had a lot of fun playing Cosmic Invasion, but I wasn't super pressed to keep playing it the same way I was Ninja Turtles, the Shredder's Revenge, and I think it's because it's lacking the roguelike game mode.
It's lacking that replayability.
Yeah, I'm not usually a big roguelike guy, but in places like this where I can just repeat the same loop over and over again and it feels really good, I think in a beat 'em up that's almost essential these days.
Much like RPG, roguelike is a sauce now, and it's just, you gotta use it on the right dish. You know what I mean?
Yes. Not much wrestling news this week.
No, we watched AEW again for the first time in, a couple months?
I believe it's either been 2 or 3 months.
The refresh was really nice. It left enough time for things to shake up and move around enough that it was interesting and surprising when we came back. The wrestling is still good. And I don't know if we're going to go back to watching it week to week full time, but I certainly had fun watching this week's Dynamite.
Yeah. Really, time was the factor here. Schedules changed around the house, and they tend to do that in the summer for various reasons. So we had the opportunity to sit down together and watch it instead of cramming in Mystery Wrestling on a Friday where it works. And that was more the driving force behind why we did that than any sort of, it's time to return. So yeah, we might stick with it through the summer, and hell, by then we might just have the momentum to keep going with it. But it was fun. A lot of the wounds have healed. I still really like Mystery Wrestling, but
yeah, I wouldn't mind continuing to watch Mystery Wrestling. Is
right.
The thing.
Yeah.
And that is a problem because I only have so many hours in the week, and I'm not paid like people who do wrestling content. We're like, oh yeah, I watch WWE, I watch AEW, I watch TNA, I watch AAA, I watch Mystery Wrestling and CMLL and New Japan. This is not my job. I only have so much time.
What's Rista Wrestling?
It's the rest thing.
Guys, it's mail fraud.
Time to steal some mail. You're the one in control of the mail theft.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm still tired. In case you're just joining us, I don't know how you do that. Ooh, do you think someone does that? Do you think they just pull up YouTube video and just be like, you know what, I'm going to start here?
Yeah, probably.
God, people are weird. All right, let's get an actual question from one of our actual people to start the game off with. Hey, here's a good one. Username origin stories from Distrucity KTL. What is your username origin story, my dude? What is your username? Or do you explained why you were called the boy?
Yeah, that's nickname origin story.
So,
if you go to our Discord, you'll see my username. It's a intentionally misspelled version of the word squeak toy. I got that nickname in high school because you hear my voice. This was my voice. This is my voice now. Until the age of 25, my voice was Mickey Mouse. My voice dropped so late into my life. So in high school, one of the first people who ever basically just saw a, shall we say, introverted loner kid and went, no, I think I'm going to avert disaster today. That one needs a friend. Decided that was my nickname in the jocular manner of high school boys, and just stuck. And it's been my username ever since.
And that person was George Washington. I've pared it down in most places. I'm just White Raven. WIGHTRAVEN. I was playing a character in a tabletop RPG in high school called Slay Industries. I named him White Raven. I thought it was kind of clever, because it's, a white raven, the color, is a very rare kind of raven. I had been watching Sci Factor, and there was like a whole subplot involving somebody who used that, so that probably wormed in my head in that way. And the undead thing, I was a goth kid, and hey, the ravens as well. So it all just kind of worked together, and then I co-opted it. I think that character died horribly because the DM hated him. Not for anything I did, which all would have been deserved. He was a miscreant, but because I had a sniper rifle, and he didn't like that I was
far away from the combat
and still doing damage. Yeah, people running TTRPGs, man, they really just hate doing that. Some folks anyway. I enjoy it, but yeah, that's I believe I was the first. I tell this part of the story a lot. I used to be active in the comments section of a webcomic whose name I can't remember. It was about a girl in college. She had a pet Metroid. And I believe the woman who wrote that comic was doing some work for the company that made not Baldur's Gate.
Whichever of the Baldur's Gate type games has the character White Raven in it.
Yeah, who is a lady who is like a druid or a necromancer or something. I did not see my name on the internet until that game came out, and it was well after that game came out, and almost everyone who uses that name is making a reference to that character that I have managed to find. I used to have such good SEO. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No. So yeah, that's my screen name. It's I was on my goth bullshit and it stuck. I had so many before that. Okay, now we steal a question, because otherwise it's not mail fraud. We got to, also, I don't know if you guys know this, but it's been 3 weeks and we haven't had a new All Elite Arcade podcast. It's possible we might run out of these.
Yep. So, steal them while you got them.
That's why theft is important. Elias, who I assume is the guitar playing guy from the WWE.
Yeah, okay.
Asks, who are your favorite nameless henchmen in video games? Mine would be the thugs in the Batman games because they're surprisingly insightful goofballs. I think he's talking about like when you sneak up on them and they're having little private discussions amongst one
like in
another.
the Arkham games?
Yeah, in the Arkham games.
I mean, that's a really good answer. It's very fun to just sort of listen to them talk. That's whoever was doing that had a lot of fun recording that audio.
The one that pops into my head the most is a certain NPC from Chrono Trigger, who is a henchman whose name is Hench. And this was before we used hench to mean really swole.
Well, I mean, that's not a nameless henchman. He's named.
Shit, you're right. But he's technically not. I don't know. I don't play video games. I never have. Do you have an answer? Who are you?
In terms of, like, henchmen, I think... I mean, it probably is also just the Arkham Goons. That's a really good answer. I don't know that I got anything better than that.
I'm trying to think of... the thing is, I don't play a lot of games where you have henchmen you're fighting. I think probably the last one I did was Arkham. I don't have a lot of, like, hordes of people who are loyal to some kind of overlord. I might choose the butterfly minions of the Monarch, but he said video game specifically. Golly.
Well, good job giving us the answer to the question in the question.
Yeah, that's kind of... You know
Shall
what?
we move right along?
I'm going to give you an answer. It's very pat for me, but we'll choose the Imperial Soldiers in Final Fantasy VI. I really like the ones that talk in the camp amongst each other, and you can find one on the shitter.
And that's fun.
That's fun. Okay, more questions, more stealing, all madness. Let's get one of these TV and movie questions that you crowdsourced from an anonymous source.
Because when I do crimes, I don't confess to them on the internet.
I just really want to be arrested, you know? I always come back to the scene. Here's an easy one. What's a popular movie or show you didn't like?
Oh, yeah, that one's easy. You want to go first or should I?
Nah, you go first.
Breaking Bad. I watched a season and a half of that show, and I stopped watching it because I could not continue to watch that piece of shit have the whole universe bend to have him win. And apparently that shit goes on for like 4 more fucking seasons. Walter White is one of the most hateable motherfuckers in fiction, and I don't know why you people like watching him.
I didn't even watch the show, so I can't really... this is more a you and the Lord of the Rings show situation, where I'm pretty sure I'd hate it, but I can't actually tell for sure. The Boys is an easy one. I think I talked about it just last week or the week before. I watched one episode, and I endured one episode. But I don't like most things.
Yeah, this is for me. I haven't even watched the show. I probably wouldn't like it, but I can't be sure. I've seen a lot of clips of Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, and those are all fun, but I'd have to watch like 3 seasons of the show just to get to that, and then, no, that's not worth. Those people are awful.
Basically, everybody. I'm trying to think of another one just because I did say that, like, recently. Man, I didn't really care that much for The Witcher. Like, we did podcasts on it.
I liked the parts of The Witcher I watched. And when it stopped being a show I wanted to watch, I stopped.
I think the second season was better, and I think we only watched 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
The first season tried to do some Memento bullshit, and instead of making it compelling, it just made it confusing.
I did not, to my memory, I did not find it that confusing.
It wasn't that confusing, but it was like when they finally did the reveal, it was, oh, that's why nothing made sense. And not, how cool. So yeah, that's that. Let's grab another question from one of our dear friends, and I think that'll close us out for today. Oh, this is an easy answer. Well, no, it's not. It's a fucking lie. Actually, there's 2, because one of them is relevant right now.
Yeah, do that one.
I'm going to do that one as well. I'll do the easy answer first, because I said it. Who came up with the old sign-off phrase, everything's better when nerds talk about it? So when KTL originally asked us this, I went hunting. And I can tell you again, because I was editing those original podcasts for the Patreon, which you can see those if you really want to, if you subscribe to the dollar tier.
Don't recommend it.
I don't either. But hey, you know, if you want it, it's there. I don't remember if it was me or you. It was so back and forth. And I think I brought it up, but I think I was bringing up something you said off camera. And I took it. I think the first couple of times we said it, I did it, but then it just became your thing. And then when we started the podcast back up in current YouTube form, it became your thing to say until you were done saying it.
Because it just wasn't the vibe anymore.
No.
Now our outro is the show ends.
Yeah. This would be a great place for me to just end the show, but no, actually our outro is now me reading off a list of patrons. But before we get to that, I have one more question I'm going to answer from KTL that is just for me. It's not for you. White, does your seemingly chronic insomnia affect your writing in either a positive or negative way? It is chronic insomnia. I often just can't sleep. Today, I woke up. Now, I was hot, mind you. This is the first real hot day of the year. I just woke up and I went, I'm awake. It's not, well, try. Lay your head back down. You'll go to sleep. Nope. I'm just up now. My body said 3.5 hours is good for what I need to do, and it's too fucking hot in this room. And that is where I am. That's why I am here doing what I'm doing right now. Does it affect my writing? Not really. Sometimes, like, I'm too tired to write, and then the solution is to go to sleep and write when I wake up.
It's much more effective in terms of speaking.
Yes, especially once the loopiness starts to set in, I get weird. I get extremely weird. There's been a couple of podcasts we've done where I'm either sleep deprived or recently had a major nosebleed, which I don't get as much as I used to, thankfully. It was a weird pocket where I didn't get them for a very long time, and then they started up again, and now they've kind of gone away again.
Joke about him having a cocaine habit, and let's move on.
I sound like I'm on Quaaludes.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even bother making
a joke. It's a joke. It's a huge joke. You know, when I was a teenager, here's a stupid fucking story. I thought it would be cool to grow out a coke nail so people thought I did coke. No,
that just looks weird.
And gross, yeah.
A little gross.
I was thankfully talked down from this by my kind and thoughtful mother. No, it doesn't affect my writing. It just affects, I don't know, literally fucking everything else. My writing is affected by sudden bursts of creative drought, which I might be in the middle of right now. Writer's block, as they call it. But that's the end of Mail Fraud. We do need to do that outro. We do need to talk about our trash elite, a guy from Ohio and Rob, Passion Killer 711, Drake Starstorm, Kitty Holbrook, Destrucity, KTL, and DG. Hey, I haven't said this in a while. Where kids want to be.
Hey, you gotta slip it in occasionally. Gotta keep it fresh.
You know, another popular show I don't fucking like is Archer. That said, phrasing.